Hey, just want to give an update here. I've seen a lot of people say, where is Benz? He hasn't posted today. The answer is because I have been completely knee deep in trying to finish this presentation I've been talking about. Posted a kind of placeholder video yesterday. And it's basically the goal of this little project I'm taking on is in the sort of vacuum of leadership that I see, or total absence of public dialogue with the public from our Justice Department, to give a presentation of exactly what the Justice Department needs to do to prove that it's pursuing Jeffrey Epstein's intelligence ties in good faith. And essentially, I have kind of the easy way the Justice Department can pursue this investigation, and then the more complex and meticulous, fastidious thing that they would do if they were going to spend a lot of resources on the issue. So my goal is to basically provide something that there's no backing out of, because everyone knows the specific things that you would be doing, because it is a lot more complicated than you would think it would be, right? The document that I emphasized yesterday is like a no-brainer. The transcripts that from the Justice Department that confirm whether or not Alex Acosta, his statements that Epstein belonged to intelligence, whether or not he confirmed or denied the reporting that he said that, because that obviously is everything about that interaction that Acosta had with the Bill Barr DOJ on that issue has to be made public. But beyond that, there's about 25 to 30 other things that I've identified. And the reason that I'm taking the time to build this out and make it extremely formal is because I don't think that Trump admin folks at the DOJ level are versed enough in the structure and dynamics of a lot of the cloak and dagger intelligence work to even know how to ask the questions, who to go to, what things to search for, how to navigate the bureaucracy when they try to block various things, and don't even really understand what Jeffrey Epstein is. And so I'm just sort of doing this as like a broadcast update, because I think this will be done by the end of the weekend is basically my goal at this point, because it's ballooned into a pretty big project now. And just to kind of preview what you're going to see is the idea of Epstein's intelligence ties. I don't think that Epstein is going to show up in any sort of, asset, asset registry. I don't think he's going to have an asset number. I don't think he was formally recruited as a U.S. intelligence asset. I think that what he was what they call a high-level cooperative contact or liaison, intermediary. And those type of figures are actually much, much more important and critical to intelligence work than formal assets. There's formal assets, you need to have a whole file on them. You need to, jump through all these hoops. They're formally recruited as opposed to working on a voluntary basis when the interests intersect. And so you need to know from the DOJ side what you're looking for in that context. You're not, if you just ask the CIA to come back with, cryptonyms and an asset ID number, that's going to come up negative. But I'm going to be laying out exactly how to go find that and who to talk to and what to do when they try to say no. But principally, the intelligence work, a lot of people are focused on the blackmail side of this. And for the past, year and a half, when people have been asking me Epstein-related questions in interviews, everyone always asks about the blackmail. And look, the blackmail thing may be real. I don't deny it. The stuff that Epstein collected could have been used for blackmail. I doubt, though, you guys heard me say this when the DOJ said we found no evidence of blackmail. I would not expect Epstein himself to be doing the blackmailing. When you're talking about a network of that size, that's retarded to do. The moment you blackmail and extort someone with that sort of thing, they tell their wife, who then tells their friends, and now the whole network knows that you're a blackmail, and then you lose access. But it could still be blackmail if Epstein collects it and then sends it on to an intelligence agency or sends it on to other in-network friends who themselves can use it for blackmail. But everyone's focused on the blackmail part of this in terms of the intelligence, why he might belong to intelligence. And that's like the farthest thing from how I see the Epstein picture, which is, this is going to sound, I guess, weird to like lay people who are not as deep into this, but I believe that the Epstein links around, the intelligence links around Epstein are actually because of his life career as a debt instrument-based money launderer for commercial transactions that complement national security initiatives by various foreign governments and our own government. And that side of intelligence work, the covert financing for covert action, is the motor engine of covert action. Covert action happens through some operation, guns, regime change, smuggling things from point A to point B, paying media outlets, paying universities, bribing a judge. The covert operation has to be covertly financed, which means it has to rely on elaborate Byzantine, structures of sprawling networks of Cayman Islands bank accounts, Swiss bank accounts, shell companies, and the like, as well as creative ways to launder the money, principally through loans and debt, various debt instruments that can be very creative about how they account for the movement of cash. And I believe that was Jeffrey Epstein's specialty, and that the intelligence links around Epstein are really going to be on that side of it in terms of at least where you'll be able to find it, or at least where you'll be able to prove that you look for it. And so I want to take the time, I guess I'm explaining why I'm not publishing this tonight, to lay that all out for Justice Department officials in this presentation about what Epstein even was in that context, so that you know what to look for. For example, what regional desks, what time periods, what associates, because a lot of this stuff is going to come back with descriptors, I think, rather than any sort of asset ID or cryptonym or anything like that. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm in the trenches, but you guys will get at some point this weekend.